It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live out at Lucy Cooper's on 151 on this Thursday night football tonight. Rams and Saints. Come watch it with us here at Lucy Cooper's on 151. You know, our next guest is somebody that, most in San Antonio has been hearing his name since he was in high school at Clemens. 7 years at UTSA. And I'm not sure how to introduce you, Frank. Do I say former UTSA quarterback or just UTSA legend? I mean, does it feel like it's over, man? Frank Harris joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line.
It hasn't really hit me too much yet because it just happened, but I'm definitely going to miss it. I love playing for UTSA. I love going out there playing in the Alamo Dome, playing in front of all the fans. And I love San Antonio so much that it just doesn't feel real, but at some point, you got to let it go, move on with your career, move on with your life. And that's what I'm doing. But I definitely cherish all the moments and all the memories that I made at UTSA.
Well, I tell you what, Frank, if you're looking for something after football, you ought to be an actor. How in the world did you and Traylor and the rest of your teammates keep this a secret that you weren't going to play in that bowl game?
Well, honestly, we didn't really know at first. We thought it was a different injury until I got an MRI. So, after I got the MRI, they came back that my shoulder was fractured. It was kind of up to me to make that decision if I wanted to play or not. And I tried to kind of do things and rehab to see if my arm would go. And I just didn't feel comfortable going out there trying to play like that. So I kind of told Coach maybe like a week or two before we actually went out there to Dallas. Told him like, hey, I haven't even been practicing. I don't think it's fair for Owen if I go out there and tell him, I want to play. He's been practicing, taking all the reps. And I just didn't think I was able to go out there and perform the way I was going to perform. So I just said it was, best for Owen to go out there. And he did his thing and he got victorious.
Frank Harris joining us here on the Blitz. I can imagine knowing you as well as I think I do, Frank, to make that decision. And what it sounds like is you made that decision kind of early in the week because it was best for the team, which what you are, the ultimate teammate. But what was the decision-making process like for you, talking with your coaches and obviously the other people that help you make those decisions?
They just kind of told me if I can go out there and play, like basically up to me, my pain tolerance level. But if I were to get tackled on it or land on it, it could make it worse and I could potentially have a surgery. And I've already had enough surgeries and it was already hurting. It was already hurting well enough to where I didn't even want to go out there. I couldn't go out there. If I went out there and played, I wouldn't be able to play to my full potential. I probably would be playing a little, timid, and I didn't want to do that. And Owen at 100% is better than me how I was. So, like I said, he went out there and got the job done. So, they didn't need me. So, hats off to the guys. I'm excited for them, and I'm just blessed to have a bowl with.
Well, I tell you what, Frank, and Jason's right. We've been watching you since you were playing at high school, at Clemens High School, and just an outstanding player, a lot of fun. But I got to tell you what, you may be one of the most mentally tough individuals I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Dude, you went through some things that most mortal humans could not recover from, but yet you did and still were able to play and do things at 100%. Man, looking back on that and that tough journey, I don't even know if it's describable. How do you describe something like that?
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you put it that way. A couple of my teammates always talk about it, having all the knee surgeries and still going out there performing how I go out there and perform. You kind of would never know I had all those knee injuries when you see me going out there running and stuff like that. But it's kind of weird. You sit back and reflect and, know you've been through a long journey, a long process. You got to give all the credit to God. I wouldn't even be here without him and going through all those things and going out there and playing the game that I love. It means a lot. So credit to him and, the training staff for getting me right. And I just never gave up. And I feel like through that whole process, I'm a better person and a better man. And when I hang the cleats up, whenever real life hits me and I go through adversity, I'm gonna know how to, battle it and deal with it just because of how football made me and all the trials and tribulations that I went through.
Frank, I think about your career. How many master's degrees? So you got your bachelor and I know one master's. Did you get the second master's?
No, sir, just one master's.
So you got the master's, the bachelor's. You should have an honorary doctorate degree with as many hours as you have spent with surgeons. When they
No
go
doubt.
through your career highlights at UTSA, do you wish that they would always mention the surgeries as stats as well? You know, your passing yards, your rushing yards, your touchdowns, you know, all the different surgeries, and then add in a couple of degrees as well so they get the complete picture of Frank Harris as a UTSA Roadrunner?
You know, only thing I really wanted to mention is the person that I was, you know, how I was to the kids, how I was in the community, giving back, all those things. That's really what I would want somebody to kind of tell, you know, if they were to ask somebody who I was. I could care less about, you know, my accolades and, you know, the stats and the records. You know, that's pretty cool and stuff, but I feel like being a better person means a lot more to me. And, you know, being there for the community, being a role model, all those things is what I truly cherish and want to be remembered as, so the next generation to go out there and do the same thing.
Which is why, Frank, I mean, we always want to know, well, what's next for Frank Harris? And I don't know if you've even thought about that, and so I won't put you on the spot in that way, but I think that Jeff Traylor, being a very smart man, might have a spot on his staff for you, or the University at UTSA might have a spot just for the reasons you just said. Not only could you help the Roadrunners that are coming up, but continue to work in this community, because it'd be a tough loss if you ever left this city.
No doubt. I have no plans on leaving the city. I love San Antonio as a whole, and they embrace me. I have all my family here as well. So unless I have to leave, I'm definitely not going to leave. So if there's any job opportunities out there, let me know. If anybody want to work with me, let me know. I'd love to go out there and explore those options.
Absolutely. Although I think ambassador to UTSA should be out there. Mayor
quarterbacks coach.
Yeah,
maybe,
Mayor Ron might be a little nervous because I think you could probably take his job too the next election cycle. You never know. I mean, but obviously, you know, you're going to be a public figure in this town for a long time. Frank, I think about your career and having watched you through high school and through your college career, there's two games that stand out to me. What you did to the Johnson Jaguars in the playoffs, what was that, 15-16? And then the game against South Florida just a couple of weeks ago when you threw for over 400, ran for 100. Is there a game in your mind that when you think back on your career that just sticks out to you?
Yeah, I probably said the Johnson game for sure back in high school because, you know, everybody, I thought we were going to lose. And then we just came back. I think we scored 3 touchdowns in like 10 minutes. It's pretty ironic. And then I think the USF game was pretty special as well. You know, have not had a. So battling through all the adversity I went through, and finally seeing the success and going out there and running the ball and throwing the ball for as many yards as I did, and coming out victorious was just like finally I had the success that I was hoping to have throughout this season that I didn't have. I had that game, and it was kind of special, especially on senior night, last time playing in Alamo Dome. It just meant a lot, and I just cherish it with my teammates and my family.
You know, Frank, when you look at your college career, going through that, can you describe your relationship with Jeff Traylor? I mean, it seems like you guys, that really seems like a father-son relationship to me. Can you describe it?
Yeah, it is. I have a ton of respect for him. He respects me as well. He always says, trust is truth over time. You know, I trust him a lot. He trusts me a lot. You know, we talk about more than just football. It's not about football all the time. Talk about real life situations. You know, what I'm doing, moving forward. He's going to be there to help me throughout the whole process. He's always there for me. I know I can call him whenever. He's a great guy. He's a great father figure for a lot of guys who don't have fathers. And he's a great coach, and I just love being around him. I just love him being a coach at UTSA.
Well, and again, I think that he wasn't the guy that got you to UTSA, but he was certainly the guy that got you to stay at UTSA after he took the job, and the relationship you formed, I think, speaks a lot about both of you, but especially as a coach that takes over a program. All those guys there have to buy in, and a lot of you guys certainly did.
No doubt we did. Like I said, he always said trust truth over time. When he first got there, a couple guys were kind of weary about how he was. And we just trusted him after a while. He's a man of his word, and we just love playing for him.
You know, Frank, when you look at it, I mean, obviously every time a job opening came up anywhere in college football, his name was rumored. How did you guys handle that? Or was he just flat out honest with you guys about what his plans were?
I mean, that's going to happen. The success that we've been having at UTSA. Anytime a Texas job comes open, for sure his name's going to be brought up. We know he loves this program. We know he wants to build it up. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to him. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. We're just fortunate enough to have him. We just keep hoping that he keeps staying around, but he's definitely going to keep getting job opportunities. But we're just blessed to have him for the time that he's here.
Well, I tell you what, Frank, and again, it's hard to thank Frank Harris, former UTSA quarterback, but you talk about a guy that is leaving a program in far better shape than when you arrived. You and the seniors that are leaving the program after this year, but I mean, you've been the face of this program for a long time. Certainly leaving it in a much better place. Surprised that we didn't get to celebrate you on Tuesday. I was wearing my Frank Harris Zero shirt from Parkhurst on Tuesday.
He was
ready for, watching your final game. And, it's just, I'm just glad you were there smiling on the sidelines, doing what you could, because it's been a hell of a ride watching you, man. Thanks for taking us on it.
No doubt. I definitely appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Frank.
The great Frank Harris, man. Enjoy your Christmas,
man.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Thank y'all. Same to y'all as well. Appreciate it.
Frank Harris on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.